The approximately 350 staff at NCUA's central office in Alexandria, Virginia, performs these basic functions, providing overall policy and direction through the NCUA board to the entire agency, coordinating and evaluating the agency's supervision and examination programs, administering NCUA's Share Insurance Fund, providing support services for NCUA including legal, human resources, training, data collection, financial, IT equipment.
NCUA actually performs a dual role. We both regulate and insure the credit union industry. So in the central office function, we have to perform both of those roles, and one of the critical ones that we're measured on publicly is the effectiveness of the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund. It insures over 90 million members in the United States. So the central office function, Office of Examination and Insurance, actually sets the policy and handles the risk management, which is a key role for us as an agency. The central office directors actually report to one of three parties. It's either the executive director, the deputy executive director, or the NCUA board. Reporting to the executive director includes all of our regional directors, our director of the Office of Examination and Insurance, and the Office of National Examinations and Supervision. Reporting to the Deputy Executive Director includes some of our key support offices such as Human Resources, our IT functions, our accounting functions, and our various equal opportunity programs. Reporting directly to the NCUA Board includes our Office of General Counsel, our Office of Inspector General, and our Office of Public and Congressional Affairs. The Office of the Board sets the policy and the direction for the agency. They're responsible for our strategic plan and our annual performance plan, with which each of the offices underneath of it ultimately implement and focus throughout the year. It's also a group that's appointed by the President to a 6-year term, ultimately confirmed by Congress. The board also is selected in staggering terms, so there's always a level of continuity as the board turns over. The executive director actually administers the policy and the procedures set forth by the board. They make sure that there's coordination amongst the regions as well as the central office, making sure we continue to move forward as a single body. So their functions include overseeing the regional directors, the various central office policy offices that support the field program, as well as the mission support such as human resources, IT, HR, and accounting functions. The chief economist actually helps us with both our external and internal evaluation. They play a key role in helping us understand the economic factors that could impact the way we oversee and administer the Share Insurance Fund. They also handle a lot of special project work and analysis for the agency to help support a variety of rules and policy-making initiatives that we have underway. The Office of Continuity and Security Management plays a key role in the internal security of the agency and keeping our staff safe. They actually have 4 major functions, including personnel security, physical security, intelligence, and our key continuity of operations. Continuity of operations is the one best known to field staff because it's what we implement in the case of a state of emergency, whether it be a hurricane event, some sort of a natural disaster, or terrorist threat, or whatever it would be that would actually potentially risk our staff. The Office of Small Credit Union Initiatives plays a key role in fostering the development of credit unions, particularly small credit unions and low-income credit unions throughout the country. They play a role in the technical assistance area, so they provide hands-on assistance to credit unions as well as consulting services. They administer a grant program that helps small credit unions further their mission by providing funds for startup programs. And they also administer and oversee the Community Development Revolving Loan Fund, which is another way of providing funds to the small credit unions so they can further their mission and help small credit unions. The Office of Consumer Protection manages the consumer compliance program for the agency. It includes several key functions, of which that includes field of membership, which is the growth opportunities for credit unions, chartering of new credit unions. It includes financial literacy and outreach to the American consumer, and it also includes the Consumer Complaint Center that we manage as an agency. The Office of the Chief Financial Officer has several functions. It includes all of our accounting operations, but more specifically to our new employees and NCUA staff includes managing our pay system, our time reporting system, and a very visual piece for our staff is the actual travel voucher program, travel reimbursement program for the agency. The Office of the Chief Information Officer really plays a critical and vital role to the success of the agency. The majority of our staff actually works in a virtual environment, so the quality of our IT programs is really paramount to the success of the agency. OCIO, as they're known, actually provides several key functions that support our operation. They provide and handle all of the software development for the agency, some of which is specialized and homegrown, some of it which is off the shelf and sometimes customized for our specific needs. They also handle the hardware functions for the agency. So that would include the issuance of laptops and the smartphones and all of the communication connectivity devices that our employees have. They also handle some of the external pieces for the agency, which includes our website. So ncua.gov is managed by OCIO. They also run our help desk, which is used by both the public and internally to help with any related IT issues. And lastly, but certainly not least, is our network security. They provide the infrastructure as well as the security for our network systems. The Office of National Examination and Supervision is actually a new office that was originated in 2013. It came out of the concept that the agency and the industry is actually starting to move to more of a consolidated group with a lot of concentration risk in it. So we originated this office to handle the largest credit unions in the country through the examination and supervision of both natural person and corporate credit unions. The Office of Examination and Insurance plays a key role in our overall field program. They actually set the policy and implement the procedures that are used by our field staff throughout the country in managing risk to the insurance fund and helping us regulate the industry. They have several key functions that are really important for our field program. That includes developing new regulations and implementing those regulations. It includes managing the risk to the share insurance fund through a program that assists all of our regions with their key risk and cases. They also handle what is known as the 5300 program, or our call report program. And that is our chief way of gathering information from the industry, analyzing it so that we know where best to deploy our resources. And it also includes managing the key risk to the industry, which is asset quality. The majority of the losses that happen in the share insurance fund actually come from the area of asset quality. So we actually have a division within E&I that manages both the capital and the credit risk for the agency. The Office of General Counsel provides the legal support for the various actions that the agency undertakes. It provides legal guidance and counsel to the NCUA board as well as staff throughout the agency. They perform a key role of reviewing and providing insight and input to all of the regulations that we develop and change. They provide the support for any type of personnel actions and changes in our internal policies and procedures as well. The Office of Human Resources, as with any organization, is a key part of our mission support. they handle pretty much everything related to personnel activity. So there are 4 functions, 4 offices within human resources. They include staffing and classification. Within that includes the hiring and onboarding of new employees. It includes handling any vacancies that we have as an agency, changes to the personnel practices as well related to employee hiring and staffing. We also have a function that's termed employee relations. They handle the benefits program for the agency as well as any adverse actions that we have related to personnel. They also have the labor relations function, which handles all of our union relationships and negotiations with the National Treasury Employees Union, which actually represents the bargaining unit segment of our organization. And they have the Division of Training and Development, which handles all of our internal and external training needs, our individual development process, which each employee completes every year, and they handle all of the conference management and functions for the agency. The Office of Inspector General is a function that actually belongs as part of every federal agency, and at NCUA they handle a lot of different activities. They're responsible for making sure that fraud, waste, and abuse does not occur in the agency, as the IG and every other agency does as well. They run a fraud hotline that's available to the public as well as internally. And they provide a general oversight and level of internal analysis of the various policies and programs that we run to make sure they are run effectively and within the compliance of laws and regulations that NCUA is subjected to. The Office of Public and Congressional Affairs is basically the public-facing part of our organization. They handle the public relations activities for NCUA. They also serve as a liaison between NCUA and members of Congress. That includes both meeting with members of Congress, facilitating those meetings for the agency, as well as providing guidance and advice to the NCUA board for handling a variety of political activities. The Office of Minority and Women Inclusion plays a key role in making sure that NCUA is represented in diversified fashion in several fronts. That includes within our workforce, within our vendor and supplier relationships. It also is responsible for helping NCUA preserve minority-owned or operated credit unions. And it also is responsible for our equal opportunity programs throughout the agency.
The role of the regional offices includes examining and supervising regional credit unions, implementing the policies of the NCUA board. The regional offices are located in Albany, New York, Alexandria, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, Tempe, Arizona. Each region is unique with approximately 25 to 30 management and administrative staff members and approximately 150 examiners per region.
The Division of Management Services is essentially the administrative and support function for the region. So they handle things like budgeting, financial monitoring, training, recruiting, and other administrative services like time and attendance, procurement, and things of that nature. The Division of Supervision, I look at as sort of the eyes and the ears for the region. They provide me an independent perspective on the field examination program. So they look at, they monitor the supervision of credit unions, the appropriateness of the supervision, determine whether or not the contacts are results oriented, and they provide me just a different perspective than what I would get from the field, telling me what the really overall risk is in the region and how we should be addressing it. The Division of Special Actions handles our, I would say, highest profile cases in the region, those credit unions that represent the greatest risk to the region and to the Share Insurance Fund. And those staff deal with really just a few credit unions, but they're the ones that could cause substantial losses to the Share Insurance Fund. structure of the field is one where we have Associate Regional Director for a program, and that individual reports directly to me. They have 14 field supervisors, we call them supervisory examiners, and then under them, on average, about 8 examiners per supervisory examiner. So all in all, about 150 field staff, and they administer our supervision and examination program. We have 14 field supervisors that report directly to the Associate Regional Director for program, and we have 2 directors of special actions that report to the Associate Regional Director for operations.
The Asset Management and Assistance Center, or AMAC in Austin, Texas, liquidates failed federally insured credit unions. AMAC determines insurability of the accounts and returns insured deposits to members.
The Asset Management and Assistance Center provides really 3 critical roles for the agency. During the course of an operation, when a credit union is liquidated, they serve as both the public face for the agency in the liquidation, as well as the back office operation. On the public face side, they handle the payouts to the members that resulted from the liquidation. They also handle any of the public messaging that goes out and actual maintenance of the records during that period of time. On the back end, they handle all of the assets that we acquire in the liquidation and making sure that we maximize the benefit of the sale of those assets, which ultimately reduces losses to the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund. Another piece that they've added to their operation in recent years is the assistance they provide to the regions for credit unions that are going concerns. We utilize and leverage their skills in evaluating the quality of assets, particularly in some difficult or troubling circumstances. They help us with valuations, amongst other things that support our field program.